All right, so in one of our previous videos, we did a review of the Zhiyun Crane 2 with follow focus, and we got a lot of questions about making a video about how to actually balance this thing. So here we go. This can be a little daunting, it can be a little tricky. There's a lot of videos out there, and we're gonna try and go through this as quickly and as painlessly as possible. So, we've got our gimbal, we have our base plate and our follow focus, and we've got our Panasonic GH5 with a Metabone speed booster and a Canon 16-35 f2.8. Now you can see on here it has like a little lens gear for the follow focus to actually grip so that you can control the follow focus here. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is you attach the base plate to the actual gimbal itself, or to the camera. For heavier cameras, it's good to put the base plate farther back like this. Now this camera is not exactly super heavy, so I'm actually going to push it just a little bit in here. Always good, make sure that the camera lens is as perpendicular as you can get to the base plate so that your camera isn't off in axis once you stabilize it, because you don't want to have it cockeyed on your actual gimbal. Step number one, attach the base plate. So the next step you want to do before you start trying to balance back and forth, up and down, side and side, is if you have the actual follow focus motor with this, you want to attach this first, because when you're doing these gimbals, when you're balancing these gimbals out, any little tiny micro adjustment that you make, it's like you can move it a centimeter and it'll throw everything off. So you always want to make sure that when you're balancing it, you've got your camera with an SD card and a battery in it, take the lens cap off, hit like a middle focal length that we have. This is why I like using my 16-35, because I can balance it and then I can change my focal length. Now internally it will change it, but you don't have to worry about like the lens extending out in front of it and really throwing it off. And the motors are powerful enough to counteract the change in focal length internally here. So we will attach the rod to its little port here. Make sure that that is nice and tight, because basically the focus motor is going to be, pulling focus on it, and sometimes it can get loose and then you've got to take the motor off, retighten, put it back on. It's a big headache. So what we'll do is then we're going to attach our motor, throw it on here. Doesn't have to be perfect or anything. You take your power control cable. This goes in the bottom here. And then I always like to try and keep my stuff like as neat and tidy as possible so that there's not a whole bunch of stuff moving around, sitting loose. So just try and cable this around so that it's not like super in the way or anything. So now we can actually put the camera onto the plate. Slide it back. I wouldn't worry too much about any of the settings right now. I would just kind of get it on there. So you start moving back and forth by holding this side right here, this motor, holding it so you don't have to worry about it going side to side. You want to see it's going up and down. So you can see we're super front heavy. So I'm going to move this camera back until we aren't, and that looks kind of good. So what I'll do is I will tighten that down now, which is when I will come in and fix our focus wheel. And move it just ever so slightly back so that it grips those teeth. I'm gonna make sure that you have a good connection, that focus wheel and the lens gear that's sitting on the front there. Let's see. We're a little back heavy, but what I like about this is, once again, I'm at a 16 right now, and I'm almost never gonna be shooting something at 16, so I will actually move it to like 24. That's a pretty decent one. And that looks pretty good, right? I think we're pretty much good on our back and forth. Now we're gonna do side to side. We're gonna fix this right here. You open up this back portion and you just slide left and right. See, now we're a little cockeyed here, so I think I came too far. It's all about micro adjustments. Like, you do not need to move. I mean, like I said, you could move it just a smidge and it'll get you on the right track. Or you can move it a lot and you're just going back and forth all day trying to figure out how the hell to get this thing balanced. And it can be a doozy. All right, so we've got front and back, left and right axis. Now let's do this top portion here. And basically what you're looking for is it's falling down, so it's top heavy. So we want to find that nice center of gravity on here so that it stays like this. It hangs up and down like so, and now it's moving. All right, we'll put this down. We are almost there. So this is a good point actually, because since we're moving stuff around, if you switch an axis, it can actually throw off the measurements and the weight on other stuff. So now we're gonna actually push this forward just a smidge. How's that? Too far. We're gonna readjust this. There, very nice. And it should pretty much sit there like that. The very last thing that you wanna do is you're gonna fix this bottom one here. And how you do that is you hold it to the side, like so. Once again, for heavier cameras, you're gonna push it farther back, and for lighter cameras, it'll actually be forward more. So basically what you're trying to do is get the center of gravity on point with this. So we're gonna try that, flip it to the side, still too much. Let's come back more. We're getting there, maybe just a smidge less. Like it is, once again, it is all about making tiny adjustments. Just fine tuning. And there you have it. If it stays on plane like this, then you're pretty much good to go. And then you turn it on. Let the motors wind up. And there you have it. So we hope you found this video a little bit helpful. I know that there's a ton of different videos out there about balancing this piece of equipment, so feel free, research more. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll put links in the description to everything that you see here. And once again, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Hit that little bell so you subscribe to our channel. You get notifications whenever we release new videos. If not, stop watching.